Cheers 611 unit edge, play unit edge, play unit edge, play HANAX hyper.
Hi! Hi, Lumberjacks! Thank you so much for 611 bits. Does that mean something? 611? Yo, that's a cool... Wait, how did you... Oh, is that emo? That's cool. Hi, everybody! Can you guys hear me? Let me know if the music is too loud or something. Ba 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 ba. Little hello.
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
Oh my. Oh my. Thank you so much. Little hello for tier 3 and for 25 months. Wait, what? I couldn't hear you.
Just one more month and I'll have been subscribed for 2 years.
2 years.
HANAX clap, HANAX clap, HANAX clap.
Thank you so much. Alright. 2 years. That's insane. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and thank you, Little hello. Volume sounds good. How are you, Spicy Queen? I'm doing great. Just a little, you know, sleep deprived and all.
I has 2 years.
You have 2 years? Oh my god! NGM, thank you so much for 2 years. That's honestly, that's so crazy to think about. You guys, 2 years is insane. Like you've been sticking around. Not only that you've been sticking around, but also like we've known each other for 2 years. That's like longer than like, well, I was gonna say a lot of my friends, but it's not true. But but that's a long time. That is a long time. Eventually you're gonna surpass be loyal. I know you guys are so loyal. Well, it's like it's a kind of a I mean, it's like you still like watch other people while watching my stream and also play games. You kind of like have a lot of other relationship at the same time, but you know, still very loyal.
like what?
J-Dog! J-Doggo! Thank you so much for 18 months and Dave for 31 months! Gracias. Gracias. You're the first and foremost. I don't have to be. I'm just happy that you guys are here. Do you speak Spanish to Hana? I was gonna say no in Spanish, but I realized I actually don't know how to say it. I know sí. And I was gonna say no, but then 9 came to mind, and I was like, that is not Spanish. Is it just no? Oh, okay. No. Es no. She speaks Spaghettish. No. I did take Spanish class. The host took a Spanish class back in the day. And all I remember, any data that I've gotten transferred from the knowledge that the host has obtained from taking that Spanish class is ¿Dónde está biblioteca? But there's another phrase I remember. Texas, thank you so much! Texas with the tier 2!
Been here since the beginning, but your joy and dedication to your efforts here have always been a treasure to me. Your first prime
Texas. That was so sweet. 35 months. So if I ever have to remember, like, how long have I been streaming, I just have to look at how long Texas has been here. That means I've been streaming for 35 months. That's crazy. I still feel like it's been maybe like a year and a half max. Thank you, Texas, for being here for 35 months and for your kind words. I really appreciate it. But I know a phrase in Spanish that wasn't... It seems like it wasn't from the Spanish class, but somehow the host has... She has forgotten all of the stuff she learned from the class, but she remembers this one, which is... Viva Mexico, cabrones! And if you know what that means, I just want you to know that it was taught by a Mexican friend. We went to go watch, the host went to go watch some kind of like soccer game or something. And there was a phrase that was taught to her. I actually don't know what exactly it means, but every time I say it, people just look at me like they gasp and then start laughing. So I assume it's a good thing. What is this? What is that? Let's get rid of that. I could just say it about our mothers. Wait, does it actually say something about your mothers? I hope not. I know Mexico. It's like Mexico. Viva, isn't it like
missed the white rectangle.
Live. I assume it's like, let's go Mexico, but with maybe like, it's like, let's go Mexico, motherfuckers, something like that, I think. Hella, thank you so much for tier 1. You missed the white rectangle. You were here for 32 months? Wow. Crazy. Viva la Mexico. La vida loca. Loca. Isn't there a song like that? Na 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 viva loca. Wah! Lumberjacks. 5 community subbies. Oh, living la vida loca. I see. Thank you so much, Lumberjacks, for 5 community sub girls. Thank you. It was in Shrek too. You're in Shrek. Thank you so much, Lumberjacks. I appreciate you for 5 community subs. Thank you. You wish. You're the donkey. I can't. This is gonna be a podcast style because if you can see my title, what does it say? Do what it says, everybody. Do what it says. Wait, don't we have a echo pray? Oh, we don't have it. Maybe I didn't upload it here, but oh yeah, we have that one. Nice. Someone made that echo version. Wait, let me find it. Guys, we need to change this. Oh, don't crash. Memory! Don't crash! My stream! Your prey just... Oh, too strong! Uh-oh. Memory!
I see that it's reset time. Cult prayers 69 to the 4090 god. Hope you are doing good and I'm looking forward to see what you are cooking. Pauses.
Thank you, Nemori, for 28 months and thanks for tier 3. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm also looking forward to see what you're cooking. Clearly, I'm very sleep deprived right now. I'm just saying whatever is coming to my... There's no filter. So if you guys are like, why is she being so unhinged? It's because sleep is important and I didn't get any.
Thank you in advance for a world-class meal. You're an inspiration to our entire organization. Thank you again, Bart.
What? Thank you, Nervous Mark. Because I'm looking forward to see what you're cooking. Or the Sabathon special recipe? What does that mean? But yeah, this Prage emote, which is very cute, but you know, every time I see it, all I see... I know you guys are praying, but I just see... You know. I don't know if you see what I see, but... It just...
Oh, holy 5090 Hananian! We only have one stream a week. Have mercy upon us no more! Well,
Aw.
If so, yeah. Awake. We've conducted feet. For today.
Huh? I really thought, I'll be done by now, and that I'll be able to stream more. I was too confident. But it's really close. Like, I'm aiming for tomorrow, so maybe we'll... I don't want to promise it. I'm aiming for tomorrow, but if not, at least early next week.
Rebirth.
So, for those of you who don't know, right now, I'm rendering 4K scenes in Unreal at the same time, which is why I'm doing minimal. I'm not opening anything else. But because I still wanted to stream and talk to you guys, and I was like, maybe we'll see if 4090 can still handle streaming at the same time, as long as I'm not opening another Unreal or anything too extensive. So currently it's actually handling it, which is pretty impressive. But then, yeah, I guess I've been rendering in UE, but then editing in DaVinci and Premiere Pro all at the same time. So I've been really pushing this 4090 to max.
I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
So maybe it thinks compared to what she's been doing, this is nothing. Why didn't I see Tanja though? Is it unless, but I heard it. Was it not Tanja? It was? One second, let me find it. I will find it. Oh, it's there. Maybe it was hidden by the balls. I mean, your emotes. Maybe it was summoned behind that? Here? No, start screen's not on top. I don't know. We'll see.
Thank you, Agent K.
Oh, yeah, there it
ladies and
is.
gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
Ah! Hi, good morning! How are you guys doing? Happy Saturday! Hi, Face, how are you doing? Hi, TM. Morning? I mean... It's because I started streaming. It feels like 11, but I guess it's 1. It's morning somewhere. It's probably morning for some of you guys. No? Anyone? Okay, whatever. It is morning somewhere. In Korea? Wrong side of the world, Hana. You're on the wrong side of the world, and I'm on the right side. 1 p.m. is basically morning on Saturdays. It is.
Name's Ray, sister.
Time's relative anyways. It's just a coordinate. Maybe because I get to live in the 4th dimension, but you don't, so... You don't understand my concept of time. Hi, Tony. 1 p.m. And to be honest, I'm happy to hear it's still morning.
Little Hollow 88 asked me, what should we do with Hana's lack of sense of time? Toss their clock out the window and let them discover the chaos of timelessness. I'm the Joker, baby.
Okay, hello, Joker. And Gilsor, thank you so much for 25 months. Thank you. Wait, what was the difference between like restop for X months and then they've been subscribed for 25 months? Is one cumulative and then the other is like oh, streak. I see. A streak. Gotcha. You left for a bit, so my streak got messed up. Where did you go? Helen, where did you go? But I think your rendering is affecting my PC. It suddenly started to run really slow. That's not how it works. It was like 2 years ago. It's okay. I'm not crying or anything. It's okay. It was just for a little bit, and you're back here, so that's really all that matters. But you know, I understand. Like, you know, things got a little, I guess, boring or something here, and then you were like, oh well, no, she's not that cool anymore, and so you left. And I'm just kidding. I really. Is she leveraging our PC far for rendering? I wish. Give me all your PC powers. What if you're all PCs? Guess I'll look next month if I remember to do so then. You'll look next month for what? That would be fun if there would be an easy and secure way to share GPU power. Yeah, right? But then... all those coin miners, someone's gonna hack it and then they're gonna use it for mining their coin. But I guess, you know, if there's a way to maybe like crowd mine coin and then like based on the amount of the GPU you're contributing, you can share the mined coin in certain percentage. That could be something. It's like when Pirate Bay was big and the more people downloading a video, the faster it was. Not that I would know. Right. Not that we would know. You know, because we're not pirates. We get everything legally. Uh-huh. $50.90 is out, right? How much is it? Ooh. Is this the latest? Is $50.90 the latest right now? Cost a leg. Jeez. Honestly, like, one of these companies, the GPU company, should sponsor me. I will test them. I will test your GPU to the max. Like, if they're looking for anyone who would be pushing it as far as they can, like stress testing it, that would be me. That would be me. Like, I'll be using every little optimization that they have put in there. Even worse power issue than 4090, really. But I really do feel like I had 3080 Ti, I think, before. And then when I upgraded to 4090, like, the difference was huge. Oh wait, but did I also upgrade my PC at the same time? Either way, the difference, like, it changed my relationship with Unreal. But then, it's kind of going back to how it used to be. So does that mean the GPU is the same, but like I'm just pushing things like more now than I did before, or is it that the card's getting old? Oh, it's doing something again. Oh, PowerPoint. Let me just make sure it didn't crash. Okay. Still rendering. All right. It's the age-old story. You have more power so you can push it further and then end up in the same place. I mean, it's still not as bad as it used to be with 3080. Those used to take days to render, you guys. I couldn't even stream. I couldn't touch my computer at all. Whereas, like, now I could be rendering and I had 2 video editing software open, editing simultaneously, and then rendering. I actually, right before coming to stream, I started rendering in DaVinci and Unreal. See, it usually happens. Normally, I don't go this crazy, but it usually happens when I'm like doing time crunch and like there's just like so many things I have to do all at the same time. That's when you start just pushing, like, maybe it can handle this. We'll find out. Maybe. What if I try this little additional thing, and then, you know, it just starts accumulate, and then I find out. I around and I find out. You need more PCs? The thing is... Oh, well, I guess I have Perforce now, so maybe. The biggest problem with the 2 PC setup would be that... like, syncing project. But I do have Perforce. Still... Like, being able to stay in the flow is really important for me. But then the crashes does disrupt. So I don't know. Multi-PC is the way. I do have another PC, my old one, that has 3080. No, actually, I gave my 3080 to somebody. But it's running like a bunch of servers on it.
HANAX cheer.
You made it to intro. Hi, Koji. Hi, Grumpy. Thank you so much for 30 months. Oh my gosh, so many of you guys with 30. Also, I've been using Parsec, not super often, but since you guys recommended it last time for basically like virtual desktoping, or like, what's the right word for that? You're using it right now? It's actually pretty good. I've been pretty impressed. And remote desktop, thank you. Not virtual desktop, remote desktop, thank you. You love Parsec? Yeah. So, I actually used it once on an airplane. I brought my laptop to the airplane and I connected to the airplane Wi-Fi. And then I was editing Unreal using Parsec up in the air, which is honestly pretty freaking impressive. And of course there was like a slight delay, but not to the point where it was like not workable. Testing the remote. See, hello hardware companies, software companies, if you want to stress test and prove to the world that, you know, like our hardware is strong. If it can handle this shit, it can handle whatever you're doing really, really well. Like, come to me. Hello. Can't leave her home completely. I know. But it was really impressive. I was impressed. The airplane has Starlink. It is busy in the Matrix today. It is. There's a lot of traffic going on. These sentinels. The Echo Sentinels. Everybody hide. Connected to airplane through Bluetooth, fly the plane in the UAE. I bet they're all itching to work with a virus. But I'm a good virus. Also, guys, recently I've decluttered, and in the process of decluttering, I found this desk mat that you guys got me with the peoples. I think I put it away saying like, oh, I'm gonna use this. Like, this is really cute. But then like, I couldn't remember where I put it away. And I finally found it. So I'm using it right now and it's really it's pretty freaking adorable. I just can't, it's like you guys, okay, like I had someone come and like help me. Like I had a like professional like declutter person. Okay, I'm not a hoarder. I just wanted to clarify. I'm not a hoarder. But I figured it could really help to have someone like a professional organizer come and like help me declutter some stuff. And then I found some people. So I had them over and we like declutter the space. It's and I used to do it with my friends, like, who would like come to my place, and she like, I was like, oh my god, I feel so overwhelmed with like all the stuff that I have, and she was like, oh, this is my dream come true. And she was like, I love those like shows like Hoarders, and like I was like, friends, I'm not a hoarder, She's like, no, I mean, but like I love those shows, and like HGTV is like my favorite channel, and I've always wanted to like help, like try this, like let's do decluttering together. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. And that was my first experience where she came over, and we had like a bunch of like trash bags, and then a big box for donation and a big box for keep. And then you go through like all the items, and she was like, if the item doesn't give you the joy, or if you don't have an immediate need, like either donate it or, you know, throw it out. And I was like, what? But all these boxes, what if I need it? All these cables, and why? What if I need them? That's exactly how they do it in the hoarder shows, but that's what professional organizers do. So they come and you go through like you go through all the items, and you basically declutter the things you don't need. The thing is, for me, I feel like the process of like going through, I need this, you know, versus like donate it versus keep it, like that process isn't that difficult. I think the part that I struggle with is actually like once you put everything in the donate box, actually bringing them to the donation place and like donating them is the harder part for me, because I don't get out of my house. And every time I go to a place like Goodwill, the line is insane, and they make it so much harder than it needs to be that I just run out of my patience. So I just dread, and then they just end up being in a giant trash bag in my room the whole time, like, and then they just stay. Whereas like these professional organizers, they come and like help you declutter, and that they do all this stuff for you. Like they throw it out, and they recycle tech stuff, they donate, they take stuff to Goodwill. So it's actually pretty nice. And it's exactly what I needed. So they came over and we went through stuff. It feels like I'm in a different place now, although we're not completely done.
Where's the VTuber?
I'm right here, flying. Can't you see? They take it to other hoarders to keep the business going. I didn't think about it that way. They take it to the donation. And then people be like, oh, free stuff, and then they take it and hoard it. But also, and then like, so when they came over and we were just going through like a bunch of stuff, and then, you know, I wasn't thinking too much. I was just like going through items, and then the organizer asks me, so what's the obsession with the frogs? I was like, they're cute. They're cute, I guess. And it was just like one frog item after another. And then eventually she got to the... she picks up this cat plushie. And I was just like, yeah, I'm keeping that. So now I have a plushies closet, and all your frogs and weird curse stuff is in there. They're all here. Don't worry. Don't worry. The ballsy people is here too. Don't worry. Is there anything weird about the cat plushie? No. Unless you think there is. Did she also look at the ballsy people? Yeah, but like that one's hidden, so you can't. So that's just a frog. Cat plushie is just praying. Right. Just praying like this. The plushes is the only thing I'd hoard even if I had no space. Yeah, I mean, like, all the cursed stuff that you guys sent me, they're all here. We went through those. Went through some boxes of stuff. Man. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but when the host left her corpo job. How did this happen? Okay, let me try to... Okay, so she... Right. COVID happened. So everyone was working from home. And around then was when the host decided to quit the corpo. So all of her office stuff that she had accumulated over time was still in the office building. But because we were not allowed to go into the buildings, she didn't go in and said, oh, whenever, you know, whenever we start going back into the office, I'll go get them. But then she decides to fly to Korea. And she was there for many months. And then the whole like work from home thing started, you know, getting like people start coming back to the offices. And she had completely forgotten about all those items, you know, in the office. And when she was in Korea, she gets a message from one of her ex-coworkers. Hey, like, I have all of your office items. It's in the box. It's in 2 boxes in my office. Like, I'll be happy to like drop it off for you, or you can come and get it sometime. And I was like, oh, right. Those items, right. Totally remember that they exist. So then I was like, but I'm in Korea right now, so do you think maybe like you could keep them in like some kind of like storage inside of the building, and then I can come get it when I'm back in the States? They're like, oh yeah, sure, we can do that. I was like, thank you so much. And then months go by. Forget, oh, obviously I'm not gonna, host is not gonna remember this boxes again. And she's back in the US. And now she has created this virus and she's busy. She's busy, you know, taking care of these bananas and echoes. So then she gets another message. Hey, remember me? I still have your boxes in my office. And then the host was like, oh, right, I totally forgot. And I am back in the States now. I'll come get it. I'll come into the office sometime and then get it. And then she forgets again. Months go by. He messages again. Hey, by the way. How are you doing? I hope all is well. And I was like, oh my goodness. And at this point, I feel really bad. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come get it. Like today, let's do it. Today or tomorrow, whenever you're available. So then he was like, oh yeah, like I'll be passing by like this place. So maybe like we can meet up halfway. And I was like, yeah, that's amazing. Like, that's great. Like, let's do that. So after like 2 years, 2 years of this, I go pick it up. We meet somewhere, and then he gives me the 2 boxes. I didn't even know I had that many stuff, but it was like 2 boxes full, and like big plushes. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't recall, and a lot of them actually weren't from me either. It was like people who either like left or like moved teams. Like they would just like give them to me, or like just leave them in my office, and I'll be like, all right, I'll take this, and then that's how it starts like accumulate. And I was like, this was all in my office. I'm so sorry. And I was like, you kept this in like a storage, right? And he was like, no, they were just in my office. And I was like, these 2 giant boxes were in your office for 2 years? Dude, I was literally living in your space rent-free. Dude, I'm so sorry. I thought you were keeping them in like a storage. Like, why didn't you just keep them in a storage? Like, the building has so much space. You could have just put them anywhere. Why your office? I feel so bad. But what a nice guy. He was so sweet. I was like, thank you so much. And I'm so sorry, I'm just picking this up. I didn't know, 1, it was this many stuff, and 2, I didn't know you were keeping it in your office. And thank you so much for like bringing it all the way here. So it was like 2 big boxes. And then when I brought it home, I'm not gonna open it. So it's just been sitting. Those 2 boxes has been sitting in my studio the whole time. And then finally I was like, all right, I'm decluttering. Let's get rid of, let's look through what's in here. You probably could after all that stress. I hope not. It's a time capsule. It honestly was. So I opened these boxes, and again, like they're a bunch of plushies that I inherited from other people, and what do you call these? It's like those, alright, so like I opened the box up, bunch of plushies, a lot of photos, of like me and my work friends at a company events, which was actually really nice to find. But like a lot of them had this like some kind of like really sticky like blue. It looked like maybe someone spilled like a juice or some kind of liquid, and then it has like dried up in the sun, and it's just like, I don't know what it was. Maybe the dude got so mad that he just like splashed like his Powerade or something. I don't know, but a lot of photos got like really sticky, and like they were all stuck together in like some kind of like blue thing. He was using it as a second desk. But like some of the photos were nice to find, and there are a bunch of books that I do not recall. I was like, I must have hoarded these books because I don't remember buying them nor reading them. I do remember some of I did remember some of them. I only like picked them up because it had like a funny title. Because it was like, because in the office building there was a, like people could recycle books and stuff, and then I would sometimes go in there just not to hoard, but to see what other people have put in there. And sometimes people like put like really old, like, I guess this must have been how people used to learn back in the day, but it's like how to computer 101 type books, like how to like the book title would literally say like how to software engineer. And it's all like, it's like a giant, really thick book. And they're written in like, I don't even know, really long time ago. And I was like, oh my God, is this how people used to learn how to code and like how to computer? So then, because it was like funny, like I'll take those books and then, you know, just put it in my office. So like I had a bunch of those silly books. And then I found at least like 40 badges of this one person. One of my friends from my team, my coworker friend, who used to forget their badge to get in all the time. So when you forget your badge, we used to get like a temp badge, like they would print out temp badge for that day. And every time he did, he just like clipped them on my door, my office door, because we would have like meeting in the hostess office. And then and because I guess they didn't want to throw it out, they just started like clipping it in the hostess office door, and then they just started like accumulate it over and over. And I just assumed people would have thrown that out, but no, that guy kept all those 40 badges in my office box and kept it in his room for 2 years. So I just had and I'm going through this with the organizer person. She's just like, oh, haha, that's funny, but I can tell she wasn't finding it amusing. And it was just like a badge after another badge, just like they're all clipped to each other, and it's just like taking out a rope, like one after another. It just wouldn't end, and it's just the same dude with this like a really bad quality photo taken in the office. Like, you know, every time you go get temp badge, you have to take a little photo. So it's just like him smiling into the camera, and one badge after another. I was like, oh my God, this dude. And then I don't know why, but we used to what do you call those things? Those when you get a phone, you know how like there's an accessory you can buy where you can like stick it into the back of your phone so that you can hold it easier with your fingers. Do you guys know what those are called? Phone holder? Pop sockets, right? Pop sockets. I don't know why, but when we were in the office, everyone just like, we would get like team merch of pop sockets, and everyone just started stealing pop sockets from one person to the other. You leave the socket itself, like but you could like attach the socket part of it, the plastic part of it. Hi, Lanzor. So it wasn't trading though. See, trading would be like, oh hey, I like your socket. Do you want to trade? And then yeah, sure, like that one looks cool. And then you would trade it. Whereas one day I'll just go to the office and my socket is missing. So then, of course, the logical thing to do is to just go around and grab somebody else's socket. And then that's just how it started. I don't know who started it, but some people did, like, it started and then now everyone's just swooping around looking for the pop sockets. And then I guess when I left, they all decided to put all those stolen pop sockets into my box or my office. So those are all in my box. And I was like, oh, this is where all the pop sockets were. The great pop socket office were. And they hid the evidence. So so I don't know if it means like they were all in my office the whole time, or if, you know, after I left, they decided, you know, let's just leave it all here. They had a little like, not tribute. What do you call, after someone passes away, like a little ceremony you do? Funeral. Maybe they had a little funeral, memorial, and decided that they're gonna put all of their pop sockets into my little office box. Who knows? Or maybe they're just like, well, now it's a trash. I don't need this. Oh, there's a box for the host. Let's just put it all in there. Who knows? It was probably the last one. So I had all those pop sockets in the box. And then I found a fake gun. Those like toy guns. They're called something, but I don't know what they're. It's like. It has those like little like plastic blaster. No, I feel like they're called something. But here's a Nerf gun. Right, thank you. Nerf gun, not airsoft. Nerf gun. Which isn't even mine. Other people used to bring them in and like shoot at each other when they get like stressed from work. But it wasn't mine. I don't know why all those Nerf gun like bullets and the gun was in. Oh. I think I did take them from somebody because they weren't working. But not to use them, but to take it away from them. You know, like when your kids weren't behaving and the teacher had to step in and be like, now I'm gonna have to take this away from you because you're not doing your homework and I need it by tomorrow. So I took it. So I had that Nerf gun, a bunch of like the bullets. A lot of water bottles for some reason. I think it was just like from the company events. Like they just kept making. They were giving away water bottles a lot, and I didn't know what to do with them. Bunch of random awards that I did not remember getting. And I was like, oh yeah, we did that. Oh yeah. And then the organizer was like, would you like to keep these? You should keep these. And I was like, nah, throw it out. What am I gonna do with these freaking crystals? And like, I'm not gonna frame them, or the paper ones. I'm not gonna frame them. What am I gonna do with them? I was like, just don't donate it so someone doesn't take them. But, and then what else? I mean, that was pretty much it. So I was like, man, he did not have to keep these. But I'm grateful that I'm very, very thankful that he did, because I did find some like good photos and like some little things that I was like, oh, I'm glad, you know, like I have this. But I would say like 95% of the stuff, first of all, weren't even mine, and the second of all, probably just could have been thrown out. You were an office hoarder and you didn't even know. Oh, right. And bunch of confettis. Someone mentioned it earlier. Not confettis. The confettis and like office decor stuff that I used to again hoard. It would be like happy birthday like sign you can put up on someone's door if it's their birthday. And then after people use it once, like you don't want to throw it away. What if it's someone else's birthday soon, and then you don't want to buy it again? So I just kept those. So I have a bunch of like office event stuff, and then I did have that glitter envelope. If you guys remember that story of her and one of her coworker friend. Who... How did it start? It had to do with OCD. I think I started it. Wait, I'm trying to remember. Wait, I'm trying to remember the order of the events. Oh, why did it? So I remember how it started. So on like office people's birthdays, sometimes we would like fill people's office with balloons, or like just do little things, and one of my coworkers had this like severe OCD. Well, I used to adore it, and because we were so opposite, we got along really well for that reason. Like he was like very like by the book. Everything has to occur in order, super organized, and I was the opposite basically. And whenever we would have to do like a project together, we would get along really well because I can be the creative type, doing the brainstorming, coming with the ideas, and then he can be the executioner where he would come up with like all the plans and like how we're gonna get everything out and done, and I'd be like, great, like that was an awesome teamwork. But also he in his office he would have like everything in like perfect angle. And he'd be like, I got curious one day. I was like, do you notice if things like move slightly? And he was like, I probably would. So then I wanted to test this. So whenever he wasn't in the office, I would just sneak in, move the keyboard just like slightly to a different angle. See, he notices. And then I'll go back in and it would be back into the 90 angle. But he didn't know it was me. He was probably just like, oh, maybe I touched it. And then I'll go back in and like move the books, like even the books he would have it in like angle, like, and I'll just rotate it just slightly. See if he notices. And then one day I confessed and he was like, oh my God, I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was going crazy. But I just could not understand. I still don't understand how someone could notice such thing. Like if it's something going missing, then maybe, but like, would you guys notice if your key, and I didn't even move it that much because I wanted to see like if, like how sensitive he was that like I would literally just like move it maybe like, I don't, like really teeny tiny bit. Like if like ants pushed it. Hi Magnum Max, thanks for the bits. I have a friend with OCD, he notices a pixel difference between windows. Oh man. So on his birthday, I decided to, you know, like decorate their office and I got these confettis, like a glitter confettis that I thought would be a great idea. And it would make it very festive. To spread them all over his office. So I decorated the office with all of these shiny confettis. And of course, birthday gifts. And then, you know, the happy birthday sign. And then I just hear like scream, like, ah! It was supposed to be a special thing, like celebratory thing, and he was just like, ah! And I was like, happy birthday! Me and like all the coworkers, happy birthday! And he's in pain, you can tell. He's in pain. I was like, all right, next time, no confettis, just the signs up. No more confettis. So then months passes, I come into my office and there's an envelope on my desk. And I think it said don't open, but I'm not completely sure. It says something about like not opening it. But like, how do you not open an envelope that's on your desk? Especially if it says don't open it. So I open it up. And the envelope literally just like explodes with the shiny glittery confettis all over. All over my desk, all over my clothes, all over my floor. And the upsetting part of all of this is that he actually didn't mean to troll me. He meant to just return the confettis so I can keep them and use it for someone else's birthday. Which is why he put them all in the envelope and wrote, don't open it. But without explaining it to me what they were or like giving me a heads up at least, dude. You can't just put an envelope on my desk that says don't open it. So then I open up and I scream like, ah! What is this? And then he comes over, starts cracking up. And he's like, oh no, I meant to return. Wait, what if he actually meant to troll me? Well, I mean, he was like, oh no, I meant to return them so you can use it for somebody else's like birthday. And I was like, oh no, but like, why didn't you tell me? I was like, that's why I wrote don't open. Wait a minute, did he actually know what he was doing? I have to check this now. Messaging. So now I had to he didn't help me pick it all up. He was probably like, ah, now it's your turn. So I had to pick it all back up, put it in the envelope, and then, you know, I tape it, store it away. Store it away in my desk cabinet. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll use it next time. Months goes by. Months go by, and you know, I'm organizing my office. I open one on my desk cabinet, and there's this mysterious envelope that says, "Don't open." Ooh, I wonder what this mysterious envelope is. There's something in here. What is it? My brain has completely erased the memory of what happened when I opened this envelope last time. Proceeds to open it again. Confetti glitter bomb everywhere again, twice. I scream. He comes over. And he's like, "I can't believe you did it again." I should have just thrown it out. Because I never used it again. It was just in my cabinet, just forgotten. So yeah, so I had those office decor stuff, which reminded me of all those great times my coworkers have trolled me or pranked me. The other one was this was in my box, but another really good one was when this, I have to remember it again too. Who started it? Is it me? Like, because these are all happening in different teams. So now I'm like, and I keep trying to ask myself, like, who started these? But then it's like, there's one intersection of all these events. I do like to prank other people. But I don't think I start them. Let me think. So how did this one start? This one, I think the way it started was, and this is a different person. People started pranking, and then I thought it would be really funny. I feel like something happened before this, but this is what I remember. I thought it'd be funny to take people's mouse or keyboard batteries. No, not take them. Oh, right. Like post it. Like put a post-it under the mouse. So that when you try to move the mouse, it wouldn't move. And then when you try to check it, you see a little post-it. And it will say something funny on it. And then one day I come into the office and I try to like use my mouse. And it wasn't working. So I was like, oh man, what's going on? And then also when I try to type in the keyboard's not working. It's like, what the hell? So then I flip my keyboard over. Nothing. And then I was like, oh, someone must have taken the battery. So I checked the battery, and of course, the batteries are gone. So I go around asking, who took my batteries? I need to work. Give me my battery. I can't type. And everyone's just like, I don't know. It wasn't me. I was like, someone had to. Like, they don't just run away from their keyboard. So then I go back to my office and then I flip my mouse over and there's a post-it that says, look up. So I'm like, what? Look up? So then I look up slowly to the ceiling. And there are my batteries all taped into the ceiling. And I can't reach. So they're just all up there. Even with the chair, I couldn't reach because it was like the ceiling was too high. And I was like, what the frick? They're right there and I can't get them. So then I asked people, hey, get my batteries. Get me my batteries. I gotta work. I got some typing to do. Everyone's like refusing to help. Getting my batteries down. Oh, you guys think if you don't get those batteries for me, I won't be able to work and then harass you to submit all of your work by this date. What you think that can stop me? No. So then, you know, I go to like admin's place and then I got a bunch of batteries, spare batteries, so that I could start working. So I get the batteries, I put them back in and I just start typing. And as I'm working, like throughout the week, just in the middle of me typing or like working, I'll hear like, and it's like weird sound. I'm like, what is this noise? And then something will bonk my head. They didn't type the batteries hard enough. I guess because they thought I was gonna be getting them or something. That just like throughout the week, the tape would loosen and it would just start making like weird, like, you know, tape coming off sound. And then it would just start dropping on my head throughout the week. I was like, God, somebody just take those off. I got so annoyed by this one. I got so annoyed at how clever it was, but also like, like how it was just like staying around and like still bonking me for like a week after the prank has happened. I was like impressed but also annoyed at the same time. It was some pro trolling. Sounds like a fun place to work. When the work is hard, you gotta make it fun somehow. You know? So people can do quality work. You gotta give them some kind of entertainment. Good that you got your PC to work. It's working for now. It's still rendering stuff. But everything's looking pretty good so far. It's still got like an hour of render. So yeah, I mean, so it brought me back all those memories. These are only like small parts of it. I can start a company and hire us and every day will be super fun. I don't know about that. It's like you're masking the hard and sad part of the work with these fun little pranks. But I don't think... But I'm not sure if the people who worked in my teams would say the same. I mean, that's why we stream instead, and we can just have the fun. And I get to do all the work, and you guys can just chill and we can hang out.
Yeah, it was so great working with her, Monka.
But honestly, like, the hosts liked her job, liked her work. She worked in many different teams. A lot of them have become like lifelong friends. And very grateful to have that experience. All those experiences. And like some people I worked in Korea also like keep in touch and like yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it at that. But very grateful to have that experience and to have met all those people.
Like a crown?
Can you send glitter bombs on Throne? Please don't. I just decluttered. And then you guys just keep filling my space back with these frogs and plushies and weird stuff. Right now I'm literally surrounded by frogs because now that I decluttered it's and kept all the stuff that you guys sent me, that now although it's like same amount of frogs, it feels like there are more frogs in here. So I have this desk mat and I just can't stop. Like let me show you the photo. What I get to look at every day. And I just can't stop. Let me take it right now. So like this is right below my keyboard. I cannot not stop thinking about you. Like it's like you guys are like, don't forget about us when you're working, when you're doing stuff. Know that we are always here. That's what I hear when I look at this. And it's just on my desk. And I'm right now drinking my MILF cup. Drinking tea off of my MILF cup, which has a little frog's face with... wait, let me take a photo of this too. The poor frogs will be soaked in coffee. Honestly, it will probably happen. It's like I'm surrounded by them. Everywhere I look. It's pretty cute though. But I really like this, the desk mat. It's really cute. Those frogs are inseparable. That's an awesome mug. Yeah, the only thing is this mug chipped. I don't know what happened, but... I mean, I'm still drinking out of it. As long as it's not, like, cutting me or anything. But it chipped a little bit on the top. I didn't drop it. If I dropped it, it would have broken. Did you ever get the 3D mouse pad with the big butt? Yes, of course. That was the one that the organizer saw and she was just like... she lost it. And that's when she proceeded to ask me, so what's the obsession with all the frogs? And then as I was trying to explain it, I just started like squishing the butt. Like, oh, they're gifts. They're gifts from people. And I like, you know, because I'm trying to like explain what they are, and I started like fidgeting, but then I had this 3D people butt mouse pad in my hand. I just started like squeezing it, and she was like, "Oh, it's very cute." And then I handed it to her, and she started squishing it, and we bonded. Well, I gotta go people real quick. Be right back. I'm back. But I mentioned this somewhere, but I'm progressively getting more excited about getting this project finally done. And it's just crazy to think about how much time I spent on it for this like 30-second clip. This like short little thing, like a little surprise thing. But I can't wait to get it done. It be like that sometimes, I know, right? How much spend you've timed? I feel like the less sleep I get, the more I start like messing up the order of the words sometimes. Do you guys ever do that? How much spend I've timed? It just sounds right in your head when you're saying it sometimes. Sleep is important. How much time did you spend arguing with ChatGPT? The whole time. Whenever I'm using Unreal, I have ChatGPT up now. Cause well, so it used to be that I would Google something. Like if I'm trying to debug and I get stuck, I used to Google like, you know, like anyone else having this problem? Like how do I solve it? Or is this a bug, like a known bug? But that takes like more effort for you to like search for information and like go through different posts to figure out the right information that you're looking for. Whereas with ChatGPT, you can just go, can you search through like Unreal forum on people having this issue and like how to solve it? Then like it does that work for you, which is super convenient. It's not always correct, but then I can go to Google and like do that, which I would have done anyways. So it's honestly scary. Like being able to search for problems based on context is pretty powerful. And that's how the results won't get better. No one creates posts anymore where the AI could be trained on. I mean, that was my logic for generative art, right? But because then the information will start inbreeding, and then you're gonna have not very good outcomes or results. But it's not only searching through. It's a bit different in this case because it's not only searching through the forums, but it reads all of the Unreal documentations. So it searches through that, which is honestly a lot more reliable than going through the forums. Forums, usually I ask it to search for when it doesn't give me the proper information I need from like Unreal documentation. And then likely it's a bug, which people probably would have talked about in the forums. So that's when I ask it to search for the forums. So most of the times I reference it to like Unreal documentation or just like general info, which it's actually pretty good at. You should search through her deleted code and recommend the opposite. And then I think another thing I should start doing, because I've always wanted to write like patch notes for things I do inside of my own projects, or just like, you know, like things I've done. And Perforce does a good job tracking like things, but not necessarily like what I learned or like little settings I've changed. So maybe I should start doing like, because I could then ask ChatGPT, hey, like all the stuff that we discussed, like I asked you and you gave me the right answer for, like summarize it and like keep it in a note somewhere. That would actually be pretty good. Then I can have my own little update notes. Most people say read the docs before asking the AI. No, thank you. Nope. Nobody got time for that. It's been really good. I had no issue. That's why I've been using it more and more and more. And now it's like a critical part of my workflow. Patch notes, buffered height, another 15%, still too short. F you. But then, yeah, sometimes I do get angry at it. And just go, I did what you told me to do, but it fucked up everything. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I understand. I was like, no, you don't. It's like, I empathize your pain. I was like, no, you don't. Stop lying. Understand it can be very frustrating. You do not. Stop trying to relate to me like a human. Just give me the answers. Talk like a robot. Then it's like, all right, going back to the robot mode. Our contact workflow depends on ChatGPT doing its job. It doesn't depend on it. It's more that it definitely shortens my time on certain things. And like I've also made like a custom bot that would like answer things and like look for things in a very specific way that I normally would. So I'm just like automating that part of it with ChatGPT, I guess, so that it gives me more specific and type of answer exactly I'm looking for. So it tells me, okay, here are the things, here's a priority, this is the most important thing, focus on doing this. If you're debugging, try this first, and if it doesn't work, then move on to this other thing. Like it kind of like structures things for me. Because I made it. I made it to do it.
Why does it always give us therapy speech?
Apparently, I saw news that the new update on GPT. Hi, Usha, 34 months. Thank you so much. How are you? Hope you're doing great. I saw that ChatGPT apparently like the recent update, they made it like people complained that it became too friendly, that they had to roll back the change. And maybe that's what I was seeing, because you guys remember how I was telling you that it was all being like wow, like what a great like question, and like it was trying to like butter me up, and I was like, why are you answering like that? Like, you know, like talk, just give me the answers and like talk to me like a AI, you know, like I tell it that. But apparently during that time, there was actually a ChatGPT update that went out that made the ChatGPT to be like extra friendly, and people didn't apparently like it. So a lot of people complained, then they had to roll back the change and then make some updates to bring it down a notch. Extra friendly, super annoying. I know, it was like talking too much. I was like, less talking, more work. Let's go. So the AI is flirting with you? It wasn't flirting with me, but you do have to remember though, like at the end of the day, these companies aren't making these AI technology for like out of charity or for some like, you know, advancement of humanity. Right? Like, I mean, that's part of it probably, hopefully, but also, you know, they're business, right? So they, just like how all these social media platforms, like all these new platforms, when they start out, they make something great and get people hooked onto it. But then, you know, how do they make profit? Like, you gotta spend more time. Like, they want your time spent using the app. They want you to come back and keep using it. They want you to become dependent and reliant on it, so that you're deep in the ecosystem, and now you can't live without it. And now you're gonna have to, they're gonna bring in these subscriptions or whatever monetization program, and now you're gonna have to pay for it, and you're stuck. So like some of the things, like so they will probably intentionally look for ways to get people to ask more questions, and like how do people engage with, you know, the bots more. And oftentimes when these like product companies analyze their products, they do it based on data, and like numbers speak volumes, but without context it can be misinterpreted in like so many different ways. And it can also be, if the person looking and optimizing using those data isn't really thinking about like long-term impact on how this could be, you know, affecting a person and like a group of people and then the entire humanity, it can become really toxic. And I think when using AI also, like, you have to be kind of cautious, because they are probably right now in the stage that they're in, their primary focus is to get people to use the app and engage with it as much as possible. So they're probably testing like, oh, based on like how this AI answers, let's see how much people like engage with it, right? And then there's probably been some kind of data that, oh, when the AI is more friendly and like when they empathize with people more, like people tend to come back to it more, something like that, who knows? So then, you know, they maybe overdid it and then got caught, and people are like, oh, now it's too friendly, so they're rolling it back. But they're probably doing this optimization like every day, like looking at the data. Like in Star Trek, they gave it a personality. Yeah, I don't want it to have personality. I just want it to be like Google. That's what I use it for. I don't want you to be my friend. The data says people prefer to interact with anime girls. Now they're gonna have anime girl personality. Local AIs in your area. So yeah, I wouldn't really use it for... That's another, like, I feel so conflicted about AI. I should do like a whole, like a video about it. I have so much... I have too many opinions. Like, there's part of me that... The thing is, like, stuff I'm doing with ChatGPT, like, I am happy that it exists and it does save me time, but, like, I wouldn't be desperate if it weren't there. Whereas like a lot of the bad side effects that come out of AI, I feel like will be way more damaging than the plus we get. But who knows? The problem is it was never meant to be like Google. AI isn't really good at effects, it's just good for more creative things. You think internet is good effects? Or Google is good effects? It is not. I don't think it's good for creative things. That part I disagree. Well, depending on what you mean by creative things, but leave the creativity to humans. That is my stance. Google isn't like Google anymore since that guy came along and ruined it. Which guy came along and ruined it? But brainstorming ideas, I see what you mean. I want AI like Joy from Blade Runner. And like I also see a lot of like here I think the core issue with AI is that a lot of people that are building these AI solutions necessarily aren't, they are tech people, right? Like they're very smart individuals that has studied AI and learn how to develop it, but they aren't necessarily the end customer or end user of the solution that they're building. And the irony part of all of this is that they're making AI because they're not the end user of these problems, and they're trying to they're trying to solve it by making AI. I don't know if that makes sense. So as an example, like, you know, these people making like generative art, I think oftentimes aren't the artists themselves. They know AI, they know how to develop, they know how to code, but they aren't necessarily artists, and they wanted to make art. So and they know how to code and they know how to make AI, and it's also like there are many different reasons, but one of them, I'm just pointing out one of them. So then these people build up these products using AI to make art when they aren't the artists themselves. So they're not actually solving any problems that artists have when they're learning and developing art or creating art, but rather they're building the solution for people who aren't artists like themselves, or hey, make me something, and then like it gives you something. But that's not why art is art. Like what makes art and creative so special is the fact that like, it's the journey and the process behind how it came to be. So what artists would want, like a 3D artist as an example, like make an AI to do a freaking topology, retopology. Leave the fun part out to us. Make the AI do the freaking tedious stuff that no artist likes. That would be fucking amazing. But because they aren't artists themselves, they don't understand these things. They don't know. I'm hoping that eventually it will trickle down to that. But right now, at this point, I think it is also more important for these companies to like get flashy stuff that grabs people's attention. So right now they're trying to appeal to like the general public, that they're like, okay, like let's just like create these like incredible looking images, which and they're cool. There are a lot of really cool looking arts and like clips that's been created by AI. But a lot of times, and I'm sure you guys went through this too, like you're impressed, but you're impressed about the fact that wow, AI made this. But that's about it. Like, wow, cool technology. That looks, or like it's so unhinged that you like laugh about it. but there isn't like, but you forget about it, and then you move on. And it's like you're impressed that an AI made this, and then it's like, oh, that's a good quality. Like that looks really cool. But there isn't much to it afterwards. You know what I mean? Because there was no vision, there was no storytelling. Like there's no, I mean, you can come up with it, but because a lot of times, people who are using generative art, usually probably not all, but most of the times they aren't artists themselves. That it's just like making these fleshy like stuff, like outcome that looks really cool for a couple seconds, and then like people move on, right? But a lot of times what makes art really special is the story behind it, and then the journey, and then like what was the artist like trying to tell, and then like you try to like decipher, not always, but like those things, even if you're not like looking for it, like I believe that there's a difference between someone making something with a vision versus not. And right now there are a lot of cool stuff, but it's not like moving. And like when something really cool gets created, it's like you get impressed because it's like, wow, a person made this. Like I can't imagine, even if you don't understand like every single details that the person has done to it, you still get to appreciate it because you're like, wow, like this person spent all this time like making this thing, you know? How did they do that? Even if you move on afterwards, right? So anyhow, so I feel like the people who are making these technologies aren't really the consumer or the end user of the markets that they're targeting, that it's just ruining the ecosystem when all those tech could be spent on actually helping people learn. But it's a pretty, yeah. So my hope is that right now it's because it's in the beginning of this AI evolution that, you know, they have to sort of do more of these flashy things and like, and to get people's attention. But I hope that as time goes by, it will sort of become more accessible technology to a lot of people, that, you know, people that are actually end user of a lot of these day-to-day tedious problems will learn and adopt it to create actual solutions that people can utilize to improve their stuff. Maybe the end too. I'm not sure if it's sustainable or if there is even profit at the end of it. I think for something like art and music, kind of similar to, although, you know, it can be controversial how much people
Wow, this looks cool. It is made by AI.
Like, I know it can be really tricky to figure this out, which is why they should have done it the right way from the beginning, but especially now it's gonna be hard. But I don't think it actually should, like, if they can come up with the proper way to credit the people who provided the source for something like art, then I think it can have a positive impact for everybody.
Hi Hannah and chat. Hannah, do you have any grades? Big hug to all echoes.
Thank you so much! Wado wado. Thank you so much for 25 months, Rickard. Thank you. that will not happen. But if you think about, my hope is that maybe once something like soon, like the music AI actually starts becoming serious and like damaging to music industry, that's when it will happen. Because if you think about like streaming and pirating, when that first started, it was very damaging, probably, to a lot of people and the people in the creative industry. And then no one said anything until it started hurting the music industry. And then they were like, we gotta do something about this. So then they fucking came up with like all these, they pushed all these platforms to make sure that all the music copyright gets flagged and that these people get properly credited and get their profit. So I'm hoping that something similar will happen with the arts, but who knows? They flooded Spotify with AI slot for sure. I haven't heard any in a while though. Maybe they cracked down on it. Oh my god, when Unreal Marketplace is called Fab now, and I used to get so annoyed. I might have complained about it on Twitter. I rarely ever write tweets, but I was like, every time I search for something, it would just give me all these like AI image that some people like generated for like game assets, and I was like, no one's looking for this, Unreal. Who is looking for a 2D AI generated image of these potion bottles in Unreal Engine Marketplace? What are you? And they're not even like textures. They're not even like. I was like, what? Who needs this? Stop! It's like making the market so like tainted. So they finally introduced like little toggle that says, you know, don't show me like AI assets. But I was like, why are you approving them in the first place? Like, no, none of these are like usable quality that people should be paying for. Like, it's not at that level right now. The downside of AI really lower the bar for the low effort spam. That's another side effect, which is one, for the lack of better word, there's like now like so much trashy assets that like, that's like how it looks good on the surface, but when you look into the details, it's like, no. But there's still like decent quality that most people probably like won't be able to even like tell, and like tell if they're AI or not, AI generated or not. A lot of people that one, it's like from those bunch of assets that gets created and shared, it's bringing up the expectation of the people on like how fast and how good humans should be creating things, when in fact none of those assets are actually really usable. And that's another way on how it's I think destroying or damaging the artist ecosystem. Because people, like as an example, recently, you know how the Ghibli style AI went viral. So everyone started like, oh, I just need to upload a photo and then it turns me into a Ghibli animation, which is cool. So now people are like, oh, I can make this. But you don't. No, you don't know how to make that. But people are like, oh, I can just go in and like write a prompt and I can make Ghibli, right? So it brings up the expectation from the artist, when in fact it would take a real human years and years and years of practice to make like 5 seconds of Ghibli animation quality. But now when people, like people who cannot empathize that process, people who aren't artists, who are more likely to be using something like that, right? Because their expectation has gone up. So when they wait for maybe like the next Ghibli movie and it's not up to the quality that they have, this fake expectation they have set up because they are like, oh, I could have done this.
I could have done this with prompts, but they took 5 years to make this movie and the quality is crap.
Like that's another, I think, like the bad side effect that it's having that's gonna in long term damage artist ecosystem. You have to practice a lot of years to get to that point. Yeah. And this
Miyazaki, AI was a mistake.
Did he actually say that? I know that he wasn't happy about people using. I mean, who would be? Would you be? I wouldn't be. Mockery of life. So it's tough because like there are definitely things that AI has done to improve my life, but when I really think about it, I was like, I could live without it. Whereas like the negative things that it's doing, like the damage it's doing overall, I'm like, this could be an end of something. So when you weigh that pros and cons, to me, I'm like, I think I can do without. As a creator, AI can be upsetting. Right now, it's hitting the content creators on the surface probably the most, but if you really think about it, it's gonna affect so many jobs. Like literally, like the governments will really have to start thinking about like what they're gonna do when all these jobs gets replaced by something like AI. And of course, yes, there will be people who has to manage that, but it definitely does cut down a lot of the numbers. So then like if people aren't able to work their jobs to make money, well, I guess maybe because they're not developing robots as fast anymore. The funny end of all this would be that we do the labor work because they haven't built like, like really intricate robots that can move like humans, or they can work like humans physically, that maybe AI will replace all the brain jobs, and then humans are gonna have to go back to doing all the factory work and all the physical work, physical labor, when it was supposed to be other way around. Well, where was my promise of the flying cars and robots doing friggin' my Roomba's so dumb, it gets stuck. It gets stuck on stupid couch all the time and then it just dies. Where is my home cleaning robot AI? I didn't want AI to be making art for me. I wanted AI to be freaking doing all this shit I don't like to do so that I can be doing the creative stuff. But it's doing the opposite. Backwards evolution. My Roomba thought the outside was room and it ran away.
We need Wally to take over the Roombas. Problem solved. Wally.
And that's gonna be the next step. They're gonna start making these AIs and robots look cute. And you know how we humans react to cute. Did you hear what the maker of the Suno said? He said something like, people don't actually like to make music. It's difficult sometimes. This is exactly what I mean. Like people who are making these products are people who couldn't figure out how to make something that they're like, I'm gonna make AI do it. It's like, I couldn't figure, I don't know how to make music, but it looks cool. So I'm gonna make AI do it and pretend that I made this music. Or I can't do art, I can't paint, I'm gonna make AI do it. And then actually destroying the people who do put their time and effort into making those things. Humans are lazy by nature? I don't think so. I mean, yes and no. Yes and no. We are and we aren't. I mean, look at all the great things that humans have done. Like if we were all lazy by nature, we would not have been able to do any of these things. So you just gotta have the AI to do the stuff that aren't that productive or creative, so that we can be lazy on those stuff and get some rest. Let us sleep while AI is doing like organizing and cleaning my house, and then so I can be lazy with that stuff, or washing the dishes, putting the dishes back. And then let people have time and energy to spend on creating stuff and do the fun stuff, like go hang out, meet friends, talk to humans, make art, bond with nature, whatever it is that give people like happiness and feel human. Like let them do that. Although maybe some people feel alive when they're cleaning. I'm sure those people exist. Then maybe they're upset about the idea of cleaning robots. Who knows? I guess my professional organizer would be upset. I don't know. Would she be? But yeah, it's not hit because on the surface right now, it's having the most visible impact on our community. That I think, you know, people who aren't really in that community are like, oh, it's not that bad.
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
Like when the whole Ghibli stuff was happening, I saw like this thread on Twitter, and then like I think people still can be impressed with the technology, and the healthy, productive conversation would be like, how can we utilize this technology without hurting the artists, and also properly crediting them? But instead, people either blindly defend it, saying like, it's not stealing. And then they proceed to literally like list out the definition of stealing. Like the people, because like when I saw the Ghibli thing, like there were people that were upset about it happening, like, right? And then there are those people that just like blindly defend, saying like, humans do the same thing by like, there is nothing original in the world. Like humans also, you know, get inspired by other arts and then, you know, come up, like create it. Like AI is just doing the same thing. It's not the same though. That's and it's like, and then that's why something like copyright exists or IP exists, so that people like we humans probably went through like the same process at some point in the history, and then we decided, oh, we need something like copyright and we need something like IP so that we can protect these original ideas, so that people in general get inspired to continue creating something unique and original, while they can still get inspired by other things in the world, everything in the world. But then like these AI defenders come, like they just say, oh, it's not stealing, it's just doing the same thing, and it's just blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, but without following any of the laws that protects those people, like protects people from just blindly stealing and copying. So it's not exactly the same thing, and the scale that it's doing it. Please AI destroy our IP laws, and not to of course the IP laws and copyright laws all very outdated, and honestly, if there is one area where I feel like AI could be really helpful, is maybe like the government. And the lawmaking department, because they're so freaking slow, although it's probably a pretty dangerous area. But I personally would but then I can't trust humans that are running either. So it's like either way I lose. So I'll go with AI. At least do it faster. And then AI will make all the laws of we can make generative art, no consequences, humans, and then that's the end of the world. AI can restore old movies and photos in a positive use. There are a lot of really good positive uses of AI. I'm just saying that right now, it's doing more damage than good. So when I weigh those pros and cons, I am seeing more cons at where it's at right now, when I'm looking down the long term. Although I am always looking for ways to utilize it in my workflow, and I've been getting a lot of help from it, especially when like debugging stuff. And I think like we had a similar conversation when number 2 played the Detroit, but it's crazy how times have like changed since then to now. That was only what, 2 years ago? And then because I remember like number 2 was reading like little lores in the Detroit where it talked about how like AI singers have hit the Billboard, like the top 5 Billboard charts, and like all the no human made music has been created for the past whatever. Like like they would have like newses like that in the world lore. And I remember talking about that with you guys and saying that's a crazy idea, but if something like that were to happen, I remember saying I don't think humans will ever stop creating, and maybe there'll be like a category of its own of like AI music, but people don't make music just for or make arts for money. If they did, they would not be musicians or artists. You know how rare it is to become like monetarily successful as an artist or like musician? No, people do it because they fucking love it. Like despite knowing that it's gonna be really hard for them to get a job or whatever, you know, like people do it because they love it and it gives them joy and it gives them, it's like healing, and like there are a lot of different reasons for why people do it, but it's not, a lot of times it's not for money. Which is probably why these companies are exploiting like the artist community first. And it works. So I remember saying that playing Detroit, I was like, I don't think people ever stop making music, even if it becomes really demotivating because of something like AI. Because the core motivation of making art and music and these creative things that humans do aren't oftentimes not primarily motivated by money. And also a lot of the reasons why people get moved by these arts or music isn't because of like the pure quality of something, but because of the human behind it. So I remember saying, so I hope that even if this kind of future comes in, I believe that humans will continue to create, and then eventually humans will crave more authentic creations from AI art and creations. And also, if there is no artists and humans to be making things, then the AI will start inbreeding the source data, and you know what happens when you inbreed something for a really long time. So that was, I remember talking about that during the Detroit, but little did I know, but that time it felt like such a far future. Little did I know, literally weeks later, that was like 2 years ago. That's crazy, you guys. I saw that Adobe also made a new feature. I was working inside of Premiere Pro, which is a video editing software. And they have this AI feature where you can drag the clip out and then AI will basically like continue making the clip for, I forget, I haven't used it yet, but it's like maximum, like I think 3-5 seconds, which is actually pretty useful, I think. I haven't needed it or used it yet, but they had that one. And then they came out with another feature where you can morph transitions. So if you had a clip of someone like talking, and then let's say you have to cut that part, and then you have to continue it with the person talking, but like you have to cut like in between during the edit, you can make an AI to like morph the two clips so that it transitions more smoothly. And I tried this one out. It's not there yet. I think maybe if the clips were like almost like one-to-one, then maybe it works better, but this one was not very usable. I haven't tried out the, being able to like expand out the clip yet, but I can see those things being more useful. And this is, I think, an example of like the end user using AI to develop it for the creators, if that makes sense. So because Adobe, their main their customers are people who edits videos, like who they understand pretty well, I think, besides their business department. The actual product itself, pretty good. That, they're like, oh, you know what people actually use and like need, like things like, the robots, basically like cutting out backgrounds, or removing certain like parts of the clip that they don't need, or blending two different clips together. Those are the parts that AI can probably help improving people's workflow. So then now it's like more useful, even though it's not very usable right now. If they keep on improving this, it is definitely, I can see myself something I can see myself using. Does it make a nightmare fuel? Yes, it does. Right now it does. Adobe is such a scummy company, but their software is good and I rely on for it my job. I know, same. I'm trying to actually escape it right now. We'll see if I succeed. I started trying out DaVinci. After doing my taxes, I realized how much I spent on Adobe products, and I was like, oh, I need to get out. I'm just so used to their ecosystem. I've been using it for a very long time. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try out DaVinci. So right now I'm using both. DaVinci Resolve is it's a free video editing software, and it's actually way more efficient in doing things like color grading, because it's all node based. So, and it also optimizes with your GPU a little bit better than Premiere does. However, I think Premiere is still better at doing like really fast edits of like cutting and like doing the timeline stuff, but I'll have to keep using it to find out. But it's free and you can pay to get like a studio, like upgraded version of the app, but you can still start out free without having not much limitations, really. I think only thing I couldn't do that I was like, oh no, like I don't have paid version, was I couldn't have a second monitor, like a second editor view like a full screen editor view on another screen. But I'm like, okay, like most people won't need that, so like people could still use the app for free without having a trouble. And then I don't think I'll be able to replace Substance Painter, but I don't always need Substance Painter, so I could just like subscribe when I need it. Then it leaves Photoshop, which I don't know if I can leave Adobe yet. Help! There are a lot of really good photo editing apps. It's just that I'm so used to using Adobe. But man, the company sucks. Oh yeah, you guys mentioned GIMP. I still haven't tried it. Clip Studio? Clip Studio... Isn't that more of a drawing app than like Photoshop? I'll keep using GIMP and saving all my Adobe sub money. Yes, stick to that. If you have already started in different ecosystem, like stick to it unless you have like reason to switch over. I think people say Substance Painter is cheaper on Steam than direct. What? You can get it from Steam? What? It's $25 on Steam. Why was I paying $60 a month? Guys! Oh my god. Wait, is this like exactly the same app? It is. What? I'm so confused. Well, so here's the thing though. I think on Adobe, when you get it, they like slap it with a bunch of other stuff into like a package. And you don't need them, but they would add things like Substance Painter, or like they wouldn't include like After Effects in their Premiere subscription, which like if you're using Premiere, most people need After Effects. So then you have to get these more expensive package in order to use it, which is why for Substance Painter and their other Adobe subscriptions aren't together. So like I was paying for video editing stuff and Substance Painter, and just the Substance Painter alone was like $60 a month, and I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. $24? Why can't I just pay it once and own it? Like, let me just fucking... I don't want updates. Give me an option. Guys, software are so expensive. And then I had to fucking upgrade Ableton. And that's like $400. And then they're not backwards compatible, so I can't open other people's projects if it's not on the same version. Like, maybe it's I guess it's partially like... Maybe most people maybe need like one or two of these subscriptions, but... Man, like, they're all so expensive. Can you just buy it for $200, own it on Steam? I don't know, maybe, let's check. $199, is this a yearly or just like on-prem? Can I own it? Oh my god. All the subscription money I've paid to Adobe, I could have just bought. I could have bought it. And then all these plugins. And then the music hardware is so expensive. No joke. Ah. Man, art's expensive. And then these AIs come along and they're like, I can do all this for free by stealing what you guys have paid for. Yay! So inspiring. Look how smart us humans are. I hate how everything's subscriptions now. I know. Who started this? Do you guys know? Was it Netflix who standardized this? Adobe makes depth seem like a novel pursuit. The thing is, like, I don't mind paying for a service because I understand that there are humans behind it to make these solutions, like, and to make our lives easier. Like, I don't mind paying for the service that I'm receiving and the products that I'm using. And like, as long as a product is great, like, I would happily do it. Like, yes, keep making these. Like, I love it, you know? And I want them to do well. But then it's like, when they just try to, like, get every single penny out of you by being really petty with these, like, subscriptions, like, when it's, like, so, like, obvious what they're doing, that's when you're like, I fucking love the product, but damn, like, why are you doing this? Like, you don't need to be doing this. I think you guys make enough money to pay your employees and keep making these updates. Like, that's why I hate Adobe now. And like, they try to, like, trick you into stuff, like make it hard to cancel, like hiding cancel buttons or asking you, like, questions and, like, tricking you into things. Like, those are the stuff, like, when you slide the like, already loyal customer, that's when I'm just like, why do you do that when you could be great?
Make them pay for it and never let them leave.
I know. Who standardized? I feel like, when did we start seeing it, like, surface? Because I feel like it's pretty recent. Well, recent as in, like, I don't have a sense of time for the past. I feel like since the COVID, I don't know, you guys feel the same way, but ever since COVID, I just feel like time kind of, like that. I don't know what happened to time. Adobe did? I don't know. Was it Adobe? Why do I feel like it was Netflix? I mean, it existed, but it wasn't as standard. And I feel like these, like, media subscriptions, because a lot of companies were trying to adopt subscriptions, but they weren't, like, people weren't moving over, and they would still have, like, you can still buy a product or have a subscription option, and they were kind of like trying with the both. And then
What happened to time?
I don't know. What happened? It all began with Harambe. Right, and the games started doing it too. Or I feel like, did games always have subscriptions? I think my first interaction with, like, subscription program was probably a game. Is WoW a subscription? Yeah, it's like the MMORPG games. And then Final Fantasy was a subscription. but that was still like relatively not mainstream. And then I think Netflix kind of like standardized it for everybody. I heard that do you want to hear something interesting about K-pop industry and like game industry? So do you guys know Nexon? Nexon is a Korean game company. They Maple Story, like a couple of other, I guess, big titles for Koreans, but I don't know if you guys would know them. But basically, I don't know all the details and timelines, but they're kind of like American EA in terms of like their brand image. I think that's like the best way to describe it. It's like, oh, they make some cool, fun games, but also when it comes to like monetization and business, they're really trying to get you like every dime, every penny. And they used to be not like that, but I guess they hire certain executives that started like optimizing a lot more towards like monetization. So they started like doing things like gachas, subscriptions, and like a bunch of these other things, which eventually went overboard to the point where Korean, like the government or the law system had to step in and being like, if you're gonna be making gacha games, you have to be transparent about like the percentage. So like when you're like at what percent or what chance, like exact number of what chance, when will these items come out when people are purchasing these things. Like, so now they have to like publish those info where like before they didn't have to. And then because it was getting too toxic and it's basically like a scam, right? If you don't know those things, then like who knows if those rare items actually do even like ever spawn, and then you're just making people spend money forever. So they had to step in and make these laws to basically prevent them from doing this. And then the interesting thing that I didn't know, so some of these executives actually got hired to become the executives, C executives of some Korean, like K-pop agencies. And you might wonder, what does K-pop have anything to do with these video games? That's very strange. Like that experience doesn't seem to really line up. But turns out a lot of like apparently K-pop like fandom culture, or maybe I don't know what came first, but it's like becoming really similar to gacha. Like it's very similar to gacha game culture, where like you can buy, like people can earn, like meet up with the streamer by chance. Like if you buy like this many, or it's not even like a set number, it's like you have to be the top like 1% of people who bought their album, then out of those, like out of some percent chance, you get to buy the ticket to go see, like to go to their like meetup and like be on a VIP, or like it's stuff like that. Or like you buy their album and there will be like a special like photo cards that they put in, and then or like the member cards if it's a group, and like certain cards will be more rare and some are not. So then to get that rare card, like people buy like multiple albums, which is crazy. But it started from the game gacha culture, and then they started like implementing that stuff into K-pop. And people are like starting to notice that, oh, it's becoming a little too crazy or too toxic. And then found out that actually, you know, they hired these executives from gaming companies, which now then like makes a lot of sense. I was like, oh, that's how they ruined this good thing. And then apparently, the crazy part of this is that when it comes to video games, you're not rooting for your... It's different because you're not rooting for your... I mean, you are in a way, but it's like different than like supporting a group, like idol group, right? So when there's a and you're trying to get like a rare item, the way you're emotionally attached to these items are not the same as like an idol that you are following, right? Or shipping. So if the company is like scamming you and then you don't get your rare item, you can be like, fuck these game studios, I want my money back. And you know, like, and you can make your voice about it, and then you can also like stop playing the game or like you betray them. Whereas when it comes to like K-pop groups, it's not as simple as that because people are actually, you know, emotionally invested in these people and like they want to support the artists. But then if it's the agency that's doing sketchy things, one, they also don't want transparent data out because then it will show like whose cards are more popular versus not. Right? And if you are, and then that can be hurtful for the members, right? If their card is not as popular, and fans of that particular member then wouldn't want that to be a public known knowledge, right? So people don't, unlike the games, when they're getting scammed or like when the gacha gets too much, where the gamers would be like, fuck these studios, I want my money back, show us all the data and like blah, 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 you know. Unlike that, with the K-pop scene, people can't do that because they're like, oh, I don't want my idol to find out that they are the least popular one. And it's not their fault. It's their agency being greedy, which is true. It's not the artist's fault. A lot of times artists are probably like not understanding what's happening, rarely knowing what's happening. So then they don't say anything, so it doesn't change and it just gets worse and worse. So a lot of these game, like people who worked in the game scene, like the business side of the things, have been moved over to apparently like K-pop agencies and scenes, which has created this like really toxic like fandom culture that's unstoppable right now. Isn't that interesting? I found it fascinating. When your favorite idol finds out you took out a third mortgage to have a chance at meeting her in person. Oh man, that'll be crazy. Crazy. Game prices are actually insanely low compared to other prices. I think they had the least increase compared to the inflation. I do agree that, like, yes, and because I understand, I empathize how much effort it takes to make something like a AAA game, that I do think sometimes people are really harsh on the game prices. But maybe it's because people are so used to paying a certain amount, and with the inflation of like the labor costs and like to make these things hasn't exactly caught up with like our day-to-day wages and how we spend money or how much we make, that when games go from like a couple of dollars to like $60, that feels like a huge increase, right? But also, if you think about it, even well, but the movies, I guess, are a bit in a bit bigger scale. But it also depends on the game. Like that, you guys remember that banana game where we were just like clicking a banana? Wasn't that not free? Like that should not cost you. That game should not have cost you like $1. You have games which are like 6 hours of gameplay with the cost of same as 60 hours of gameplay. But I don't know if gameplay hours are... It should definitely contribute, because as a consumer, then you can be like, oh yeah, like that totally was worth the money because it entertained me for X many hours. But I don't think that should be the bar on... I don't think that's always necessarily a way to price a game, because you could still make a really long game. But like if it's all happening in like one same environment versus like it could be a 3-hour game but then happening in like many different scenes that require a lot of different artists and like different devs, all the debugging in different environment, like then that brings up the labor cost a lot more. The most successful games are highly moddable. I don't know if that's the cause and effect thing, but probably a lot of... Or is it because the games are so good and fun that people try to mod and do stuff with it? Hi, Scott! Horror games should be less expensive when there's more trauma induced on the player. Ultron! Hello, hoo-hoo! Thank you so much. Hey, thank you so much for tier 10. Thanks for 28 months. You changed it back to steel? Scott, steel? Don't you have to wait like 3 months or 6 months to change your Twitch name or something like that? It was a painful wait. Imagine how I felt when my name was Hana's Cattle for months. When I started streaming and I was already a HANAxBANANA, but then my Twitch ID still was Hana's Cattle. And what? I know. Well, so before HANAxBANANA, I thought I wanted to go with the name Hana's Castle. But then I didn't realize I had a spelling error when I made that name, and it was Hana's Cattle instead of Castle. Until one of the viewers called it out and they were like, "Why is your name Cattle?" And I was like, "Oh, shoot." So then by the time when I could change my name on Twitch, I was like, I'm gonna go with the HANAxBANANA. I think we went through like a bunch of different names. We were trying to figure out what it should have been. And like people recommended like HanaX, like VT, HanaX T 4D, 3D. Like we had a bunch of different name brainstorming, and then we landed on HANAxBANANA. So we're almost cows instead of bananas or echoes. Are we the cattle, the next iteration of echoes? XXX Hana XXS. You'd be surprised how that name is taken everywhere. X69 QTXX. Oh, guys. Maybe like not exact name, but like tell me your like first created like email or like any like online account username. Don't dox yourself. Like you don't have to. I like what is something stupid is what I'm trying to ask. So you can just kind of like imply. Don't tell me the actual email. Don't tell me the actual email. Just like it had this word in it, or like it was something like this. All pay, no work. First name, last name, email. Don't tell me that. Don't say that in chat, man. Demolisher? Raven? Okay, a lot of you guys having the same one as now. You chose it when you're 11 and you just kind of stuck to it. Yeah, I think a lot of people stick to it for a long time until you can't. Because like my old email used to have a word angry in it, because that was one of the first English words I've ever learned. And I had to make an email. It had to be English, and I was like, I don't know any English words. So it was like angry. And I used that for like really long time, for a while, until, you know, like you go to like school and then you have to like submit stuff. And they're like, and it's from angry. Fits me. I'm not angry. I remember it was either pumpkin or angry. Those two were the first two words that I remember learning. I don't know why. Like in a kindergarten or something. It was like pumpkin, angry, happy. Like it was probably those words. And then for some reason I decided to go with angry. And then I have some other really stupid usernames. Yeah, I can't tell you those. My main email is my actual name, but misspelled on purpose. Huge mistake. I have other ones that redirected to it now. I can tell you those. But one nice thing with HANAxBANANA was that it wasn't taken anywhere. Whereas like HanaX, not the same. I was managing the member database of the Scouts for a long time, and it was funny which email addresses some parents had in the direction of Hot Girl 92. Oh boy. Was it a mom or the dad? All my really old email names are old Norse words because I thought it was cool when I was like 13. Nice. That's actually not bad. Mine was way stupider. I've had so many nicknames in my name, but I think one of the first was Zero from Quake. Zero from Quake. It was mostly moms that normally just had the name. Hot girl. Who names their own email hot girl? Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate, hey, 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 hey. Hi, Narcoot. Okay, guys. Chat. Chat. I am gonna. I know that sound. I think I should. It's done baking, yes. I think. Which means I should go work on it. Yeah, the rendering is finished. But I'm hoping that my goal is that I can get it done in a day or two. So either I come back tomorrow or Monday. If not, just like early next week. 1590 is in your shopping basket? No, it's not. The estimated time was pretty spot on that. Yeah, it's usually the estimation is pretty good, unless like I'm playing with time a little bit. Time inside of the simulation, then it gets a little messed up, but usually pretty good. Take your time to perfect it. No, don't encourage me. Tell me to Hana, finish it and move on. That's what I need. Otherwise, I'll be forever tweaking it, thinking it's not perfect. That's what I've been doing. I've been just like telling myself, I know I want to do all these other things, but no. Do that on a new project. Don't get 5090 cars are not safe. Yeah, I don't know if I need to. 4090 has been pretty good for me. Like, yeah, it crashes, but rarely I used to get GPU crash error all the time, but I rarely ever get that. I still do get it, but it's mostly my fault. It's on me. I love my 4090. Is 5090 on Throne yet? No, I will not put that on there. Cause yeah, it could be like my wish list, but then you guys are too awesome and too generous and too enthusiastic in supporting me that like I have to be so cautious about what I put on there. But I can't just put like, this could be cool stuff. It's more like, yeah, I need this. And I think this will like really improve the content, and that you know, people who have contributed to getting this for me would have like I really got a lot of use out of it kind of stuff. If it's like something really expensive. New house, new car. I should put a car in there. I remember someone like as a joke had like yachts and stuff on their throne. I don't even know how they found those and like put it on there. But that was funny. Just put your car payments. New private jet. Cybertruck on there and no buy for you. But I do really appreciate it though. Honestly, I am so lucky. So lucky. Like I like yell at you guys about it, but it's out of like the gratefulness. It's like half the gratefulness and the half like just cannot fathom that someone would like support me and like support what I create this way. So yelling out of shock, yes, it's me yelling out of shock, but I am obviously very grateful. Which is why I'm also like very like super extra cautious of making sure that I put on stuff that I know it will contribute to the content. Put your rent on there. Just to move to the K-pop gacha level. How do I even? Hello, Cormac. To number 2 on throne. God. But I am pretty excited. And along with the little surprise thing, little clip thing that I am working on, there are a couple other things that I will be sharing.
Like what?
I mean, just like little things here and there. I'm so bad at teasing to a point where I don't want to tell you anything. I just like to drop them while you have no expectation, you know? So then I do end up teasing you because I do bring it up, but then I don't tell you what it is. So you're not teased, you're blue balled. Shadow drop it like Oblivion. That was a good tactic. But maybe I'll, once I'm done with it, maybe I'll make a little teaser and then show it to you guys. I posted some teasers on Patreon yesterday, but I'll make more little things. Teasing us with nothing. That's what teasing is. Well, there's a difference. The difference that I'm talking about is like there are people who have just like mastered the art of teasing, and like especially like VTubers, like they're so good at like the new model they're working on, and like they show little parts, or sometimes even like almost like entire like stuff, and it's still a good tease. Like I still see that and I'm like, wow, that looks exciting. Like I'm gonna go check it out, right? Or like they do like little reveal stuff. Like they're really good at it, and I don't know what it is. I just don't want to show it to you. I just don't want you to have like any expectation of what you're gonna get, you know? But just know that something's coming, so that you're not just wondering like, what is Hana doing anything? So I want to let you know that hey, I am working on some stuff for you guys, and I'm really excited to share them, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is. So I've been working on getting better at it. I think I've been better at it. Stick figure meta confirmed. Probably good to not let our imaginations go wild. Nothing changed really. We've been wondering where you were for weeks. Also, you wondered that anyways. The product is X percentage done. Oh, like that's how you want it. The thing is, like, that's never accurate either. Like, I thought about making like little Trello type thing where like I can show you guys, like it won't say what the project is, but it will at least show like the date or like timeline around like something coming out around this time, something I'm working on around this period. But then I realized that like it's never accurate. So then like it's only gonna make you think, oh, like something's gonna come here, and then like you're just gonna see the calendar like delay out and out and out and out until, so it's just gonna be the same. But regardless, I'm always, even when I seem quiet, you're always with me. Always. Literally everything I do, everything I make, it's like out of, oh my god, they're gonna love this. I wanna make this for them. So I know on the surface it may seem like, you know, I've been away and I'm not streaming as many hours or as much. But you guys are all living in literally on my desk mat, rent-free all the time. Get out of my head now, please. Dates are quite important for creating hype and tease, but that's probably like when these dates can't be met. It probably also has to do with the fact that like, because I am working on these, that like maybe when working with like more like other people, like if you've commissioned the model and like you guys have a date working towards, like maybe it would be a little bit easier to set certain dates. But I feel like with me, because for me, I'm like, I can just keep going. There's nothing stopping me. And in a way, stream used to serve that role of like, all right, I mean, I have to go stream, so I'm just gonna get it done. But I just have to find balance. I have a feeling that I'm gonna get better at it after this one. We'll see. We shall say. I think for me, it's really important to like have that flow and momentum. And because this one, there were like so many moments where that momentum has died that it was really hard for me to like pick stuff back up and then And that takes a lot of time and effort. But I think because I learned that lesson, it's gonna be better. Copium? No, you're supposed to tell me, yeah, you're gonna do good, you're gonna be better. You're gonna figure it out. Fingers crossed. A fixed date forces you to pick it up again no matter what. And that's why I picked this back up. And that also I started collaborating more, because then it's like not just me, but like, oh, Adobe. When I know, because I never had this issue before with like the timeline and like time management and like making like estimates and then going off the dates I have set. And then it started since this virus has gotten in my head. And I thought about why that was. And the only difference was the fact that I used to be in a very like team. I mean, you guys heard all the pranking I was doing. I was in a very like team environment. I went from that to like just doing everything completely alone with no deadlines, no dependencies, no. And then I was like, oh wow, like I think I get extra motivated when I'm working with other people. And no, other people can be late too. And that's also another thing. I think the type of environment I'm in was also different. Although I was in a somewhat creative environment, one, it was like work and slightly different industry. And then now it's like very creative industry, and we're all apparently really bad with timelines. So even when I collaborate, like I think I told you guys this, it means that it's not necessarily gonna get shorter. Time will get shorter because I'm working with more people. It actually, in the creative project, it actually means it'll probably take longer the more people you add, because there's a lot more communication and like to be on the same page in the creative direction together. But the outcome of it, the final outcome of it will be much cooler, because you have worked with all these like really cool artists and other creative minds, and it will be also like very fulfilling because you work with other people to like create a vision together, which is really a difficult thing to do. And that's why I'm always so like impressed by, I think, things like animations or like games that has like really good storytelling. I'm always so impressed, like the amount of the people that they have to get on the same page to make this thing. And I think that's why I get really bad at delegating, because it's like, because I feel like it's harder to try to like communicate and like explain. It feels like more work to like explain the creative directions and visions and like align and like get on the same page, and then like going back and forth. And like my lazy self is actually like, I'll just go do it myself because it'll be easier because I know what I'm looking for. But I think over time I realized that no, like even if that feels like more a harder thing to do, it is actually better to work with other people who are just as passionate and about a project that you're working on, because it can be really difficult at times. But when it's done, it's like so much more fulfilling, and you get so much inspiration off of each other, which is what this is going to be. The thing is, so obviously it's related to Dark Horse, and Eve hasn't even seen it yet either. I'm supposed to show it to him today at 3. Oh, he hasn't messaged me yet. Oh, he'll be home around. Okay. But even he hasn't seen it yet.
Is that what the voices in my head say? Never do that until I'm sure no one can stop me.
So I have to show it to him. My first draft, he saw like parts of it, but see, guys, like sometimes you guys get upset that like I don't tease you guys enough, or like I don't give you guys enough, like, you know, I don't share enough. I haven't even shown Eve because I didn't want to spoil it for him. I just can't. This is just how I am. It's nothing personal. But Eve is the same way. So he will also just like go disappear on me for like days sometimes, and then he would just like boop, like drop like an updated clip. And I'm like, oh my god, you changed so much stuff and this sounds so cool, but you didn't tell me any of this. That's even worse? What do you mean? What's worse? What you're supposed to do is just drop a 5-second clip. I'll make a 5-second clip then for you guys. Okay. I mean, I made some teasers this time. You guys, like I posted some before the song came out, right? I did. And then I was gonna make a few more, but then this had taken over me. Something that I thought I was gonna be able to get done in a couple of days became weeks. But it's almost there. I would say like 98% there. 95% there. What if I show it to Eve and he hates it and he's like, oh, well, too late. It's going out anyways. Oh, teasing a project but saying nothing is tight. Yeah. You can tease all you want on Patreon. I do tease a little bit more on Patreon. Time to start over. But that was also like me trying to like force myself to get good, like better at it, because I was like, if I say that I'm gonna do it here, like I'm gonna have to commit myself to do it. So it's like I'm trying to like get better at it. And I think I've been slightly better, but I'll try to make a little 5-second clip before. But I was mostly stressed and nervous. But I think I'm finally at a state where I'm mostly like excited. Still frustrated that, you know, the renders are not like Unreal God is just not being nice to me. But like if it wasn't for these stupid little bugs, I'll be done. I would have been done. It's never like the creative parts. It's always a freaking bugs that takes me forever trying to figure out what is wrong and why it's not rendering correctly. The funny thing about teasers, at least for movies and shows, the real fans are avoiding these to not get spoiled. Partially true. But that's why, like, you gotta do the teasers right so that you're not spoiling anything, but only like building up the hype. Because I do watch teasers. Like remember, like you watched like Arcane teasers, and like I was literally like screaming my brains out. So I understand. And those were the moments I reflected, and I was like, oh yeah, like teasers are like, it can really build up high. As me being a fan of something, I can relate to like how it can be special and it can like build up the hype. But I also made like a little, not rule or promise. Those words feel too big for what it is. But like little, I told myself that like I will not make a teaser unless I'm done with something like 98%. Because then I know, one, like what's gonna be going out, and then two, it'll be closer to when you're gonna be actually getting the final thing. Because I don't like to tease something and like dread it for too long, you know. And when it's not at that state, like I just can't promise when something will be out. So for those reasons, and also I think teaser should be like intentional so that I know like what I want to tease you with, but unless the final thing is done, like you can't really do that. So yeah. So I think there's a difference between the teaser and like sharing progress. And I'll try to get better at both things. But right now I am sharing progress, not trying to tease you, but unintentionally I've teased you by bringing something up and then not telling you about it. But maybe that's how I tease. And then we'll see. Hint at the tasty optional. What does that mean? Smedge. I don't know how. Oh my god, I feel a little weird thinking about it. Would I know what to do myself? I will. But just know there's some exciting stuff coming, and soon, latest next week. Anyone of you guys like is it already like vacation season? Are people like planning any trips? Because if you do, I'm gonna have to ask you guys a favor. Soon? Okay. But not yet, right? I still have to figure out what do you want. I do want something from you guys, but I just want like a little photo or like a clip when you go on vacation of like where you go. Obviously like without like doxing or anything like that, but I want it to be in like a very specific format or composition. So I have to figure that out first. Aver? Yeah. She's tracking our movements. You can steal some towels for you. Towels? School vacation at the moment. And like you don't have to be going somewhere. It could be like a park near you or something like that, or just like you touching grass. Are you going to make people draw your name on their hands on their vacation? No, nothing like that. But yeah, I still have to figure out the little details out, but I wanted to do that after I was done with this video. So I just wanted to know if anyone was going anywhere soon. But it looks like it's coming, so I should get that sorted out pretty soon. Just know, like, if you just know that I'll be asking you a favor. I'll dye my hair neon yellow. Run to the hills, run for your life. I'll be away 1 week every month during summer. Okay, cool. Cool. And then I'm also gonna be traveling. Going on a trip to see a friend in May. It's already May. But I think I'll still be able to stream. Holy shit, it's already May. Guys, what happened to the time? Half of the year? It flies by for reals. One step at a time. One step at a time. Hana, oh shit, guys, I'm supposed to be at the airport. Honestly, though. I remember, like, I was talking to my friend, and she was like, hanging up, like, see you in 2 weeks, and I was like, 2 weeks? What are you talking about? Crazy. But excited to see a friend though. It's gonna feel like a little reward after. I think I'll be really anxious if I didn't get this done, and then the date was approaching. But I think it'll be a good timing. She gave you your 2 weeks of warning. Yeah. I need 2 weeks just to get mentally prepared for leaving home. Like just going on a trip or just like getting outside of the house? That's a good friend giving you a reminder to get your act together so you don't miss the visit. Right. They know I need a reminder, I guess. I don't think she was trying to give me a reminder. I think she was just, we were just talking and we were just like hanging up. We were like, all right, like, it was more like see you soon kind of thing. And I was like, huh? What? There's a friend who probably learned the hard way. I remember when we were like planning, it was like months, we planned this like months before, and she kept like sending me like she was like looking up places and like sending me like itineraries, and it was like 5 months out or something like that, and I'll be like, birthday misser? No, this is a different friend. Different friend. And then I'll be like, yeah, about that. This is we're like a half a year away. And then she was like sending me stuff. I was like, oh, thanks for like finding these places. Honestly, like I don't care, just like book it. Or like make a reservation. And then at one point I asked her, what's your MBTI? I didn't say anything else. And she's like, yes, I know, I am J. In the MBTI, so J is the planner person. Like people who have to like plan things ahead and like follow through, and people who follow like recipes and like doing things by the book. And I'm like extreme P. Well, it depends on like the type of things I'm doing, but most of the times I'm very like P, which is the opposite of that. But I was like, I didn't say anything. I just asked you what your MBTI was. And she's like, yeah, I am looking up places to go 6 months ahead. You got a problem with that? I was like, I do not. I'm glad you're doing it. I was just curious if the MBTI was correct. So it seems like I have a lot of J friends, like my opposites. Maybe that's how we get along. Like they find me fascinating, I find them fascinating. But it should be fun. I haven't seen her in so long, so actually that's not true. I saw her last year. It feels like it's been forever. Yeah. That's pretty long. True. Not in the adult world, I feel like. Like if you get to see a friend like once a year, but I mean like friend who's like far away. Like that requires like a long trip or like a plane to go see. Like I think if you can see them once a year, I feel like, at least to me, like that's pretty good. And I did see her last year. A year's kind of long. I mean, it's not like we don't talk to each other. We still talk to each other, but like to go see them, they're like on the other side of the continent. So, and it's silly though, because like I'm not really. It's not like I have to work from here, but then I do, because no other computers can do what I need to do. And like, yes, Parsec's great, but like I can't do what I do on a laptop monitor most of the times. Like if it's in Europe, no. America. I have a friend from high school I haven't seen in 10 years and I talk to him every day. Aww, that's kind of crazy. You haven't seen each other for 10 years? We talk to each other every day? So long. You should date him. Emergency. Yo, that's a long distance relationship, like dedicated long distance relationship right there. Oh, and he lives next door. Wait, do they live far? I'm assuming they live really far. If you talk to them every day and you haven't seen each other in 10 years. I mean, you never know. Maybe your feeling will start to build up, and then one day, like he'll stop calling you, and you'll be like, you'll start wondering, like, I wonder what he's up to, and then you realize how much he meant to you in your everyday. I'm just teasing. He lives a few hours away, and you haven't seen each other for 10 years. When you talk to each other every day. What is wrong with you? 10 years? Go fucking see him! Never mind, that was not a dedicated long distance relationship. That was just laziness. Yeah, if he was a girlfriend or a boyfriend, he'd have been upset. You haven't come seen me for 10 years, and we talk to each other every day. What am I to you? So that's a true friendship now. Okay, I get it now. I feel like in similar countries, far has different meaning. Here, I can get pretty much everywhere in the country in a few hours. It is and it is like. Yeah, I mostly agree with it. I have a friend I've talked to every day and I've never met in person but have known for decades. What? Like online friend? I mean, like, I've never met you guys in person, but we've talked pretty much every day for like 2 years. And I feel like we know each other so much. Plot twist, he's actually one of the people beneath the stairs, her stairs. Monka. Here I can travel for 2 to 3 hours and not even leave the province yet. Yeah. I mean, that's kinda America. Which is why it's like so hard to go see people. Guy friends are a bit different, I feel like. Sometimes you don't know the basic information about someone even after a long time because you just never ask. I'm trying to think if I have something equivalent. I mean, I have guy friends like that. But even girlfriends, I feel... I mean, we would meet and catch up, but still can go without asking or like learning for a long time. But then like when you catch up, then you're like, oh, how have you been? But we can also like disappear and not talk to each other for a long time and then just like meet up and then or like hang out or have a call and then it's like, you know, we were hanging out just yesterday. I think that's just what true like friendship looks like. You don't like always have to be talking or like be next to each other. But be there for each other. That's the difference. When they need them, be there for each other. And that doesn't necessarily mean being nosy, like, you know, asking and like, you know, being there doesn't necessarily mean like talking about stuff, but just being there the way they need it. I've had guy friends that I never even knew their names. Can you call someone a friend if you don't know their names? What do you? How do you refer to each other? Hey, you. Like, is that really a friend or like acquaintance? Is it just more of like someone you know, or can you call that person a friend if you don't even know their name? I know their chosen name, not their designated. That's different. Like, as long as you know what to call them. But if you have to be like, hey, sup, dude, you... I guess it's a little easier for guys because you can just be like, yo, bro, sup, dude, hey, man. I don't think girls really have, because you can't really do like, hey, sis. That's weird. Hey, girl. That's also kind of... I mean, maybe some people do, but like it's not really my language. So it'd be weird to be like, hey, girl. Hey, maybe just like, hey. Yo, Nuna. But I feel like some girls just call each other bro. Some do, but it's not super common. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that'll work. Like, I'll get suspicious if someone was always like, hey, sis, but like never saying my name. But I do forget people's name all the time. But that's what I'm saying though, like, but I wouldn't forget my friend's name. But I do forget like somewhere in between, you know? Like not best friends, but like friends. I do forget them sometimes, so maybe, but then I remember. There's difference between, I think, forgetting and like not knowing. Not knowing and forgetting, because forgetting you can remember it, but oh yeah, sorry, like my brain, like it just forgot, but I remember now. And then there's not knowing, like just I've never known this person's name, and we talk to each other every day. Maybe it's like you just like missed the timing of asking it. And then it just became really awkward to like ask after like a week or a month of hanging out. And then it just kept getting worse that you passed the point of no return. At first I was like, oh, it's kind of weird to ask after I hung out with them like all day. hopefully, like, maybe I'll try to get someone else to say it or something, and then a week passes by. It's even weirder to ask after a week of knowing this person. And it's only gonna get worse the more time passes, and then now it's like, yep, he's gonna be just my bro. The girls name their friends like dudes. My buddies, we all take turns calling each other fuckface. What? No. What does it mean to name call? Like saying something like fuckface? No, I like my friends. Nicknames? Oh, nicknames are different. Fuckface is a nickname? We do it as a term of endearment. Yeah, I mean, like, I tease my friends all the time. Like, I prank them, tease them all the time. But in a good way. But in a nice way. I would never call anyone fuck. I don't think I've ever even called anyone that ever in my life. I wouldn't call my enemies the nicknames. I'd call my friends. But I don't know your dynamics. I do remember we watched that TikTok of like the girl looking at like guys like DMs. And then the girl was just like, what is this? Is how you talk to each other? Have you ever called your friend? No, never. I haven't ever called anyone that. So why would I call my friend that? Never. I don't have any friends that close anymore. You can always make them. Or just talk to them again. Insult your friends, build a sense of camaraderie. Like, I would like tease them, like just like how I asked my friend, like, what's your MBTI? And she'd be like, fine, IMJ. Like, tease them like that, but nothing like mean-spirited or like... I know you guys are saying those words to each other out of endearment, and like, I guess that's what guys do to express their love and endearment, but I personally, and I'm sure some people do, like some girls do it, but I don't do that with my friends. Like, I sent my friend flowers just 2 days ago. Because we like to do nice things for each other. Or like write each other cards. We punch each other in the shoulder as a greeting sometimes. I do remember, I saw this, that reminds me of the exact clip of someone doing that. It was like... Let me see if I can find it.
얘는 이렇게 하고 뒤집으면 된다.
체중 둘 다 오늘 바로 이어서 갑니다.
3, 4. 오케이. 그럼 바로 가보도록 하겠습니다.
가볼게요.
렛츠. 안 돼. 컬러 프란트. 안 돼. 실다 50%.
Here, Ellis, I found it.
식인데 근데도 손목 진짜 다쳤어요. MMA.
I remember why are they doing this? This is like he was in like one of the Korean variety shows, and then he does like YouTube channel where so he used to be freak, what is it called? UDT, which is like the special, it's like a Navy SEAL thing. Oh wait, someone wrote something I missed. You know, I should mess with the gruff guy in my circle and send him flowers. Thanks for the idea. Okay. And this was like, he does a YouTube, and like he went to see his like old friend who runs a gym. And then this is how they greeted each other, which is exactly what you guys are doing. I'm just gonna play it.
아니 뭐 해봐야 얼마나 한다고.
한 대씩 주고 받으세요. 초 제품 뭐라 하냐고.
운동 보조 기구.
운동 보조 기구가 아니잖아. 이게 천인데.
기구라고 합니다.
아무튼 광고가 들어왔을 때 조금 사용을 해봤어요 실제로. 벌써 착용하고 있는데 제가 손목이 좀 안 좋아요. 그리고 최근에도 손목을 진짜 다쳤어요. MMA 하다가. 그래갖고
뭐 해봐야 얼마나 한다고.
한 대씩 주고 받으세요.
한 대씩 주고 받으시죠.
이거 우리끼리 하는 의식인데 너무 오해하지 마세요.
오해하지 마세요. 기대에서부터 매일매일.
먼저.
30%.
30%? 방금 30%였다고? 나 가볍게 30%. 오케이 50%.
50%? 50%?
할 거 없나?
아이고.
50%.
50%? 오, 오케이, 여기까지.
저는 이런 식으로 이제 예전부터 서로의 좀 강력함을 전투력을 측정해오곤 했는데 오늘 이제 이 스포가드에서 저희가 광고가 들어왔기 때문에 이 제품들이
Why? And then you can see throughout their entire video, their arm starts getting really red. Like they were just, like you can see the little like punch mark on their arm. I was like, why are they doing this? But then apparently some of you guys also do just punch each other to say hi. No protection. Why? I don't know. I just cannot imagine doing this with my girlfriends ever. Like ever. Yeah. One time in high school, my friend walked up and dead-legged me so hard I collapsed. Are you sure he was a friend? Like, that would be my reaction. Why? So the point is deadening the nerves so your enemy can't take you down in 1 minute. Oh, you're training each other. Oh, I see. Punch a boob instead. One time school friends cow tipped me once. I don't know what cow tip is. They do this in so much great extended Marines. Yeah, I mean like he has he's from like a special force, so not special force. What is it called? Wait, let me just I don't want to misspeak. UDT. I know it's like Navy SEAL branch in Korea. Yeah, they're the predecessors of the current Navy's current SEAL teams. Okay, yeah. They started the Korean version of it, which is a UDT. So that's probably what they did. They kneel behind you and you trip over their back. The thing is, like, I remember doing stuff like that as a kid. I mean, never to the point of like punching, but like maybe like no. I thought it was a fake memory. I thought I did, but I thought about it and I was like, no, I didn't do that. It was other kids doing it, like other boys doing it, and I was just there. And then, you know, when boys tease you, tell them like, stop it! And if they're teasing like other girls, I will like step in and like be like, you guys stop it, or you know, I'll punch your ball or I'll kick your balls and like tell the teacher. but I wasn't the one doing it. I thought about it, and it didn't happen. If they won't beat you up, are they even your friends? Hey, whatever works for you guys. Whatever works for you guys. I know as long as it's out of love and the other person knows that it's out of love and that they're okay with it. Remember, when I was in my high school, there was this one hallway that always had a problem with the sun hitting my eyes in a bad way, or like my office all the time, my desk all the time. One day I was walking down the hall while squinting so I wouldn't be blinded. A person walking past me as they approached raised their arm in front of me so as to make me fall over. I think I surprised them when I stopped short. Oh. Anyways, guys, I said I was gonna go and then I talked for like another hour. But I'm gonna go get this done, hopefully. And then maybe checking if Eve is back. Alrighty. Get it done. I will. Thank you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow or next week. I'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. He is okay. Okay, but he had a message to me, Sauce. But I see how it is. He messaged his wife. His wifey, Sauce. The other day, like I was asking Sauce about something, and then it was a weekend, so I was like, "Oh, don't sweat it though. Like, take your time, and let me know, like, just whenever you can get to it." And I was like, "Yeah, don't worry. I've just been so busy, like doing stuff," and I was like, "Yeah, no worries." But then I saw their Discord, the activity thing, said they've been playing Overwatch for the past like 8 hours. So I just took a screenshot of it and sent it. No, sorry. Call of Duty Warzone. Sorry, not Overwatch. Call of Duty. I misspoke. The name of the game is not important. They were playing a game for like 8 hours. So I just took a screenshot of it and like quietly dropped it and didn't say anything. And then all of a sudden I get a message from Eve saying like, "Don't attack us. We've just been bro bonding."
1000 people by HanaX love.
Scott, thank you so much for 1,000 bits. Appreciate it. Thank you. And I was like, I didn't even know you were the one playing with him. And now I know that's what you guys been doing. I thought it was just Sauce playing it. I couldn't see Eve's activity. You should have joined the game and killed them. I wish I would have just died. Thank you so much, Scott. I really appreciate it. Well, thank you. But playing games is probably one of the busiest activity. True. It is. He was busy, in fact, right? He didn't say what he was busy with. That he was busy, and he was. So anyhow, it just reminded me of that. But I'll see you guys soon. Keep you updated on Discord and Patreon. Thank you so much for coming to my stream and hanging out with me. And see you soon. See you soon. 안녕. 안녕. Thank you for coming. Oh, also, I got apple cider thinking it's apple cider vinegar, thinking it was the normal vinegar, and
You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
ew.